Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10 of Building Jam. We have a very special feature guest today where Ian is actually turning into a reporter and tuning in live from Config, which is Figma's conference. So without further ado, let's get into it.
It's like the biggest event that I've, biggest conference I've ever been to. Like maybe I just haven't been to many conferences, but like you're in this room. There's like entirety of everyone is like filled in like one panel, and then you look to the left and there's a whole nother panel of like huge sea of seats, both left and right. It's just like remarkable, just the scale of this, and to think about like how many people are literally here. Like it must be, maybe my ballpark estimate is wrong, but it seems like 6,000, or I can't tell if maybe it's even more than this, but like 6,000 in like one room, and then there's like breakout rooms. It's just like very live and buzzing right now.
Where is it? What's the best? Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess a fun part is that like you're just getting to see or meet people that work for these companies that you've admired and think are cool. And so just seeing people's like shirts and just sitting down next to people and having them work at interesting companies you've seen or heard of. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I was, you guys know Carta? Like, I don't know if we use this for our...
We use Carta. Yes. That's where our options are.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ian, we sent you emails from Carta to accept your options. Like, what do you mean?
Oops. Yeah, those ones. I know, I guess I forgot about those ones. But like literally, sitting next to the like one of the designers for this, and then also like Sentry, which I know we have the backend integration. Like that was just that at the last talk, and then I also met the Strava design team, which is the running tracking app, which that was particularly fun too, just because just because I have been using that a lot, so I know the interface pretty well. So. Yeah, so there's been two. Yeah, so the keynote was the Dylan Field, like walking through, like the big announcements was Figma Slides. I don't know if Twitter has already caught on to this announcement, but basically announcing a slides presentation product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was. Other than that, like the second room, it was basically these people who've launched, or a team who's launched. It's called DOT. It's called the new computer. Which that one's it's interesting because it's like a personal assistant, but that's supposed to understand you on an emotional level. So beyond like sort of this AI as when you start to talk about it, you get to this like futuristic sort of, is this creepy? Is this cool? Do I want my AI? Like, how do I really want to have the interface? Like, how do I want to interact with AI? And for them, like they took what they talked about was how it's like a relationship, and how they, which is like sounds sort of trippy, right? But they're basically saying that like as with defining any relationship, like defining the boundaries of the relationship, consenting to different parts of it over the course of your time getting to know that, like over the course of your onboarding journey, I guess, is like very important to them. So they showed these examples. Like one example they showed was basically the presenter was like asking the AI about whether they should or whether he should text his ex. And then so this is like a very personal example, right? And then the AI is like, no, you shouldn't text your ex, but actually gives it the response in a way like a friend would, rather than like pretend you are my best friend. I'm going to ask you this question, like essentially without all the context setting that we're used to today. Like, what if it just remembered from all your prior conversations?
I think we need to increase the temperature of the AI model. I want to see like an unhinged version of that model when it definitely suggests you to text your ex.
Yeah. I mean, I actually like this use case. It exists. I've done it. I texted with ChatGPT like screenshots of like a fight I had with my husband, David. And I was like, who's right? David says I'm being manipulative. Is he correct? And ChatGPT was like, no, you are amazing and you're right. And then I sent it back to David. So it works.
Yeah, is there bias in it telling you that you're right when you're the one asking it? Probably.
Probably.
Y'all, you know what this reminds me of? So, like when there's like the New Year's party where, uh, like in Times Square, there's Anderson Cooper and the other guy who's like telling you like how's the vibe for like the in Times Square, New Year's, and we're like the you know inside the studio asking Ian questions. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Yeah, that is funny. It's
Bye-bye.
like news
Ian,
reporter mode.
yeah, exactly. What are the details that they just got right? Like anything we can learn for our events?
Ooh. I mean, I think this is very strong. If I were to give you a full tour of all the swag and merch and stuff, it's just like it's it's very tasteful. Like I'll show you this. Like they give you a book in here. They give you
Ooh.
this
Ooh.
beautiful
Oh,
like
God.
It's my kind of gift.
this beautiful magazine, right? Like I guess I would of course expect all this to be very well designed, of course, but like yeah, like the pop, like you know, your notebook, your giving you the socks. They had someone walking around giving out free socks, which is very
That's
funny. So,
amazing.
Yeah.
I would say what has left an impression on me so far. Like, I mean, like I guess the quality of the presentation setup is like I couldn't imagine a more sort of polished professional looking, like everything sort of feels like the product does. It's this cool like in like I think the design bar for the event and everything surrounding it really lives up to the lives up to the bar set by the product, which is of course great. I think I mean on the downside there are other like event management type things I feel like always become a big thing, like yeah, anyways, but so there's always these complications that come up, but I think that like overall seeing the like level of polish with all this has been like a fun yeah, like a great thing to see.
I'm curious if you've noticed like any cool like dynamics or opportunities that like Figma has thought about for like people getting to know each other or meeting each other, like besides like these amazing presentations. What are they doing to like, I don't know, get the community talking so I can take some notes?
Yeah, what are they doing? I think I mean, it seems like it was very natural at lunch, meeting everyone. I don't know what they did. Like I don't know. I find being at one of these conferences really when you're meeting people is like waiting in line, and so like I don't know how much you designed for it versus that just is what happens. But like like they have all these things that are I guess trying to create a vibe and something to talk about. Like for example, they have like a Fig Jam board where people would like I don't know where people would put up stuff like that. That's really not where people are actually like. You could tell someone imagine that would be a great way to bring people together, and it fits the vibe, and it fits the atmosphere, and makes it cool. But it's not like people are talking at the booths, people are talking in the lines. It's like I don't know, it's a little bit more organic, I feel.
One speaking of event details we should learn from, I spoke this week at SourceGraph's office. They held like an AI DevTools night, and there was one detail I just loved, which was when your time is up as a speaker, they had someone sitting there at the front of in front of the audience with a big tuba, and then they'd play like.
That's awesome to get people to like stop talking.
Yeah.
That's what they should do in Oscar speeches instead of playing the music from the back.
Yeah.
Hey, so Ian, what's the vibe like in terms of slides? Like no one has, like I remember when I was in college, they did like Prezi came out so it was like cool for college professors to use Prezi for a little bit, but everyone went back to PowerPoint and Google Slides after that. Like how are people reacting to Figma launching this new product?
I feel actually the initial. Oh, that's funny. You can hear the music too. I think the initial reaction, it was less so of like, woohoo, like yay, like Figma has a new slides product. It's like it feels like we have enough slides products, right? Like, like like what? Did we all go try Tome? Did we try yeah, Google Slides? Yeah, but I don't think there was, because it's something that we're all familiar with. It's sort of like, oh, now it's all in the same place. There was the type of vibe with it, but it was kind of like, oh, another thing to change. And so it felt less like, oh wow, now it's so crazy. Everyone has slides in Figma, right?
You know what I bet? Here's my bet. I bet, just based on working with designers, that like half the room is already using Figma for slides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like now it's just a product. Like their users took them in that direction anyway.
Yeah. I mean, our event slides, what are they? They're like Figma. Figma's pasted into a Google Doc.
And that's what they said actually before. They had everyone raise their hands and say who already uses Figma for slides, and everyone put their hand up. So
was it everyone?
You're on the money with that. It wasn't everyone.
Wow.
It was about probably a third of the room maybe. Yeah, the people that would, right? These are the people that would.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
One other fun thing to see is like for me, seeing all the product educators is what I've learned that a lot of people call themselves in the sort of content for Figma. These people that are here are getting absolutely swarmed. Like they can't get, like I was just at the table of one of these of a guy named Xander who has a channel that's all about Figma education.
I follow him. I'm such a fan.
Yeah, Xander,
say hi to me. He doesn't know me. I'm a fan of his.
He's like, I mean, his whole thing is he used to say, "Here, we're going to do this super fast," and then go.
Oh yeah. I follow him on TikTok. I didn't know his name was Xander, but I've been a follower of his TikTok for 4 or 5 years now. Oh, do you know?
Good.
And so
like he has his company has a boot camp that uses Jam. Do you guys know that?
I didn't know.
Oh,
Danny knows.
I was just talking with this team though, the Memorizely team, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and these like product educators that are just like around and people are talking to them and stuff, are they the same thing that Figma refers to as like design advocates, which like work for Figma in the Figma company, or these are more like evangelists of Figma?
I would say that it's more so that they're evangelists, Figma, YouTube, like. I mean, this is really the one. This is really the one I'm referring to. But it's funny to think of that this event I didn't really realize for these creators is like a huge opportunity / space where everyone in the room is like, oh, you're awesome because you helped me learn this tool, right? Like everyone here learned Figma from someone, right? Presumably, and so
cool.
It's like this real moment where that then you see them in person, you're like, whoa, like, hey, I watch all your stuff, like Yeah. I had a similar moment with there's a guy named Linus Lee who does an AI newsletter that I follow and like, and so it was really fun to just see a familiar face and be like, whoa! And he knew who you were, Danny. So,
I mean, he presented at one of our first AI nights. He's amazing.
I forgot about this.
In New York, I think it might be even before your time. And any last things that you think Jam should learn from this whole experience?
First, I would say concretely, it would be awesome for us to have a booth here. As I look at all these booths, I think, I think that would be fun.
You know what's cool about Figma Config? Okay, think about it like this. Not that long ago, Figma's events were like pizza nights at their office. And now they're hosting 6,000 or more people in this amazing, huge thing. And people are paying to have booths and how awesome, right? I don't know. When I think about it, I just want to be okay, then maybe we could too. Maybe we can get there too, right? They started out with Friday night pizza nights. So I think that's awesome.
I also get super inspired when I see the last generation of startups. It's look what's possible with a lot of hard work and just years of just grinding through it. I think Figma's an 11-year-old company. So maybe us in 7 years, we can have debug the Jam conference.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. I love hearing how like seeing so many people, like colleagues, old colleagues, find each other at this event has also been an interesting thing. I didn't expect, but there are people that I've heard are referring to prior configs, and also when people used to work together. So it's like, I guess it speaks to the I don't know, just like the whole startup scene and larger tech scene of people moving around and switching around, but a place for everyone who, in this case, loves design, getting together every year. It's like a college reunion for a tool everyone loves and uses. So,
yeah, amazing. Before we wrap this live from Config episode, I wanted to have one more section that has nothing to do with Figma, but it does have to do with cookies. Yeah, there were so many cookies at Jam this week. I just want to show everyone what's been going on. So Ivana, what are we looking at?
We're looking at a cookie that one of our Jam Pizza's sponsored events sent us, that they made of Jam, which is so cool.
Wait,
which is so cool. This amazing photo. Which
I saw this on Twitter. Like, most of the time it's just like people doing the pizza meetups where they order pizza and they have. Why cookies? Like, what happened here?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, so this was Munich engineers. They meet. We've sponsored like a few of their events. Munich JavaScript is their community name, and this one in particular. So what we actually ended up sponsoring was, they had like this big conference like one day, and they asked if we could sponsor like the speaker's dinner the night before the conference, and we were like, of course, yes, we can sponsor that. And so for their dinner, I mean, they said, do we have to get pizza? I was like, no, I mean, you can get whatever you want with the sponsorship money. And so part of the things that they got were like like cookies from like their sponsors. So that was awesome.
So this absolutely made my day. But then the level of cookies this week escalated. And Ivana, can you describe what are we seeing here?
That is actually a cookie cutter of the Jam logo being 3D printed by AJ, who's the developer relations at Weebie.
AJ tweets this and then texts me last night, and he says, we have a usability problem. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, in the cookie cutter. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I got the dimensions wrong. It's going to be a really big cookie. And so I am really excited about it. That sounds amazing.
We definitely have to bake these cookies. Like, we have to do something with this.
Okay, if anyone listening is based in San Francisco, we will hand deliver you a Jam cookie.